Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crumble!
I'm Joshua Kemble, and welcome to Joshua Kemble's Livestream. I've been a freelance illustrator and graphic designer for over 20 years. I was an art director for 9 years. And when I'm not art directing and working on illustrations and graphic designs, I'm working on comic books and graphic novels, and that's usually what I do during my streams. And while conversations can go all over the place on this stream, from spicy and entertaining to goofy and silly, one thing stays consistent throughout every stream. I'll always be working on art. So pull up a chair, get your art supplies out, and get ready for an entertaining show that'll keep you company while you work on your own personal art projects. This is Joshua Kemble's Art Stream. All right, welcome to my live stream. I'm going to be working on comics tonight. I'm going to be doing roughs for page 110 of Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, which is my historical fiction graphic novel that I'm doing for Turner Publishing, written by Lavender Vroman. And I'm going to be comping out and roughing page 110. And we'll see where it goes. I'll also probably be sharing 2 more songs that are new that I recorded since the last time I live streamed. And also probably like the other 2 unreleased songs that I streamed on my last live stream as well. And if you want to hear my music, you can check out basically Joshua Kemble and They Don't Care About the Born, which is an album I just put out. And if you want to check out my books, there's 2 stories, which is my autobiographical graphic novel that talks about faith and mental illness. That's handwritten, hand-lettered, and hand-inked, and hand-drawn, and handed to you in print, usually from Amazon. So you can order that on Amazon. And then there's my other graphic novel, which is a full-color graphic novel that talks about 2 long-lost, totally opposite roommates who basically, through tough circumstances in their lives, find themselves drawn together romantically. And as they're drawn together and finding connection in reality, their dreams and reality start interweaving. So it's kind of like if you took Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, put it in a blender with Ghost World, and made it a doomed romance story. That's Jacob's Apartment. So those are the 2 graphic novels that I have out. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the work. So I'm going to pull up my my stream. Let's see here. So, okay, this is the blank page with a couple references. I had to pull up the references that I have for Wilson, who is the maid of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, who's the main character of this story, as well as the kitchen, which this scene is taking place in. Our last scene, basically to get us up to speed. Ooh, I need to pull up 108. Just realized I don't have the rough for 108 here. So let's get that pulled open. The rough for page 108. There it is. Okay. So I'll get pulled over too, so we can kind of review the roughs of the scene so far and kind of get in the frame of mind for the next rough and the next scene. And then we'll just kind of see where it goes from there. This is also a late night stream. My wife is actually working on a kid's book in the background. She's back there working on illustrating kids' books. We have a late night illustrating ahead of us. So such is the life of artists sometimes. Okay, so we've got starting scene. There's an establishing shot, right? And then you hear somebody It's basically establishing again that they're in Casa Gatti, which is the Browning's residence. And you see a speech balloon basically saying, "Remind me of when I was a girl hiding from the governess." And then now you are seeing the kitchen interior of Casa Gatti with the new interior for this book. And you hear "Concentrate, Sophie." And then the other voice, which you now would assume Sophie, says, "I don't know what to do." And then we zoom in on the door of the pantry that's in the kitchen, and it says, "Remember what you observed of Mr. Home. Close your eyes." And now we're seeing inside of the pantry. So it's dark. There's a single candle between Sophie and Elizabeth kind of lighting their way. Keep in mind, these are roughs, right? And basically now Sophie's going, "Hee hee hee." She's giggling. And then Elizabeth, staring intently, says, "Try, Sophie." Looking at Sophie, Sophie closes her eyes, opens them, her eyes rolled back in her head, and says, "Dear Ba." So that's 107. 108 goes on to have, now there's the candle, they're focused, and now we have Sophie saying, "If a spirit be present, give us a sign." And then there's the candle sputters going st. And then 109. 109 is, "Spirit, we implore you. Did you feel that? There's almost a breath on the back of my neck." Then the door, rattle, rattle, rattle. And then we see chicklack, the doorknob opens. Sophie's, "Huh?" And now they're kind of embracing each other in fear. The candle goes out. Now we have creak behind the door. The door opens and a giant silhouette. And that's where we left. So the next will be probably a reveal. Okay, so now what we're going to do is break down. That gave us like the scene, the kind of the place we're at in the scene. And now we're going to kind of break down what we can see from that. Okay, so as usual, the element of the script that I'm working from is going to be down here, right? Mostly covered by my obnoxious logo. And basically we're going to be pulling from that. When I do roughs, the first thing I do is break down from the script what I need to work on. So I'll make like a list, write out the text of what I want each panel to be, kind of roughly describing it so I can understand it. From that list, I'll then make a thumbnail, and then from that thumbnail, I'll make a rough. So that's what we're going to work on tonight for this page. So this is where we left off in 109. Let's see, 109. 109, right? 109, you have the door opening, creak. So now we're at this page. Okay, cool. So this basically is going to say, okay, so the script says, "Elizabeth and Sophie let out a simultaneous shriek." Eee! So that's what I'm going to do is, I think for number one, we're going to make a new layer. Move these down too. I have so many extra layers that I don't really need from previous stuff. Dylan's joining. How's it going, Dylan? Dylan said, "Hi, Joshua. How's it going, my dude? Hope all is well." So we're going to do a new list here and have a list. And then we're going to basically break it down. So number one on the list will be Elizabeth and Sophie screaming. Eee. Whatever. It's just a note. So that's what I want to have first. And I wanted this to be from a doorway. So I almost think maybe like even we see like the silhouetted arm of the person opening the door. I want to put arm with a question mark. And then we're looking at them screaming in terror. Probably from like an angle too. And then it says the door is flung open, which is weird because the door was already opened in the last page of the script. So I'm going to chalk that up as a script error. How do you open the door twice? Dylan said, I just watched about 6 episodes of Danny Phantom, and before that, 4 episodes of Batman the Animated Series. Like, is that the original Batman the Animated Series? And then I have no idea what Danny Phantom is, but that sounds pretty cool. I like the idea of Danny Phantom. Just sounds cool. The door is flung open. Will stand in the doorway, staring down at the terrified pair. So it's going to be Wilson. I have maid reference down there too. Wilson's their maid. So I'm going to have this be shot from behind Elizabeth and Sophie, looking up at Wilson. And this is going to be Wilson text. So basically, like the first one's like their screaming reaction shot. The next one's the reveal that it's Wilson, their maid, saying, "What the bloody?" And then the next one's going to be 3. This will probably be like a side shot showing all 3. And then it's going to be EB text where she says, "Oh, Wilson. Oh, Wilson." And then it's Elizabeth and Sophie dissolve into laughter and sink to the floor, clutching each other. So 4 is going to be EBB and Wilson on floor, clutching each other. EBB and Sophie text. And it's going to be, basically them saying, ah, ha, 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 ha. And then 5 will be Elizabeth text, Wilson text. So 5 is, I'm imagining 3, 4, and 5 will all be side shots. Dylan said, Wilson. I was joking that at some point, I think it was when we were in like the 50s of pages or something, I was joking that I should just replace maid with like a volleyball or a soccer ball. Was it a soccer ball or a volleyball? No, it was a volleyball. But anyhow, so okay, EBB text, Wilson text. So this is going to be Elizabeth saying, "You gave us such a fright," and then Wilson saying, "What are you doing in here?" And then it's going to be 6 is going to be close up of Wilson expression. She's kind of disgusted. And then we're going to have 7 be EBB and Sophie laughing. So, okay. So here we go. We've got 7. Yeah, Dylan was reiterating it's a volleyball. How could I forget? That's actually a really good movie. Okay. All right, so we got our list. That's good. The list is a good starting point. What I like to do whenever I reach a little milestone like a list is we're going to play a trailer. And then from there, we're going to do our thumbnails and rock and roll. So here is a real quick trailer. And then we will get right into the dirt of drawing this business. Let's see. It's been a while since we played Christopher Runciman's, so here is Christopher Runciman's. And I believe I'll be on Christopher Runciman's live stream tomorrow. I got to talk to Christopher, message him, and find out what time exactly that would be. Because sometimes it varies, but I definitely am on living up to that commitment. So, okay, here it is. Here's Christopher Runciman's trailer.
Hi, my name's Chris and I like comics. I want to talk about this comic for a second here. I just got this in. I ordered it direct from my local comic shop through Diamond Distributing. It's Joshua Kemble's Jacob's Apartment. I really enjoyed this book. There's all kinds of comics out there, let's be honest. There's fun comics, there's superhero comics, there's young adult comics, there's adventure comics for kids. There's so many different things under the planet. But there's also an entire subgenre of alternative books. Real life, real world depictions in comic book form. Situations that happen to each and every one of us. And this is a fine example of that. If you get a chance, order this book from your local comic shop. You won't be disappointed. I can't sing its praises high enough. Okay? Check it out. Jacob's Apartment by Joshua Kemble.
All right, we're back. And now we're going to get into basically breaking down the text into a thumbnail. So I'm going to make a new layer, call it thumb. And here we go. So we're going to also turn off the guides because we don't need them just yet. Okay, so this is going to be a shot from the doorway. So I think we're going to have like the arm of Wilson. Let me see this. Let me make sure I'm opening it in the right direction. This is another thing that it's good to have refs for. Yeah, just like I suspected, I'm actually using the wrong arm here. So we'll undo that. So this is going to be the hand clasping the door. And then we'll have the doorway kind of opening. I wanted to add like an angle too. So let's have the door kind of tilted like a horror movie. Okay, and then we'll have our and then I need to refer back to the previous page just to see, make sure I've got them on the right side. So it will actually be Elizabeth on the left and then Sophie on the right. Okay, it's good to see. It's amazing how like those little sequential things, like the location of someone, can be real tricky when you first start doing sequential art. And then you learn to always refer back to your previous pages because you'll have characters suddenly switch positions and a lamp that was on the left suddenly moved across the room. Like just weird little things you don't think about until you draw sequentially. Okay, so again, Elizabeth's going to be on the left. Sophie's going to be on the right. Okay. Just reminding myself again. I want like a more terrified expression too. Again, thumbnail, right? Why am I drawing her straight? The idea here was to have it like tilted, right? Okay. She's got her arm kind of on Sophie. Sophie should be terrified as well. Again, just a thumbnail. Also remind myself of which ear the her rose is on. Okay, that's actually going to be the right side, which is her left. Okay. And this is her kind of holding, because they're kind of grasping each other's, arms in terror. And they're screaming. Usually I wouldn't even bother to write the text, on a thumbnail. But I think in this case it works. Usually I'd just draw the speech balloon because, again, we're going to get into it a little more. I'll probably have this be like a little wiggly too. This will be the doorknob that we saw previously. And to keep some mystery about it, what we'll do here is we'll have her in shadow in the foreground, right? You know what? We don't shade yet. But she's going to be kind of like in the foreground shadow. So we'll get into that once. I was about to get into that, but it's like we can get more into that when we get to roughs. So now we have a thumbnail for panel 1 done. And then Wilson. Okay, so I want a low shot now. Here I also want to reiterate the candle that was out or whatever. So we'll have the candle here, kind of sitting here, just to kind of reorient people on where we are in the room. There's some background stuff too. Again, like we'll get like more specifics of that in a second, but that's enough for a thumbnail. So the next shot is causing the pinwheel of death. Okay, I'm gonna save where I'm at, and here's an. Well, no, let's get through the thumbnails, and then I'll play you guys a little bit of music. I have 2 new songs that I haven't played since the last stream, so I've been on a roll writing songs. I have no idea why, but I haven't been able to quite stop writing music. So I guess some people might call that like inspiration, but it's just been unstoppable, an unstoppable kind of desire and need to write and track music. It's been really fun to kind of feel that. Okay, now we're gonna have a shot from the other angle. Why am I drawing the box first? Anytime I do thumbnails, I find that quite often adding the box later is good. Dylan said, "Blessed by the divine madness of the muses." Yeah, it might be madness, honestly. I don't know how many people listen to these things. I feel like what I'm doing's good though. So, okay. Wilson says, "What the bloody?" Okay, so this is going to be Wilson's expression to be really obvious. Like she's like, and she's gonna have her kind of, yeah, her hair is kind of like this. So then let's do Wilson's kind of maid hat. Okay, and then we have Wilson's got this kind of outfit. Her hand kind of here. Oh my goodness. My computer's lagging quite a bit. Dylan said some of the ancient Greeks believed that there were 4 major types of madness, and the muses of the arts were one of them. Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that inspiration can be a bit of madness. I think you have to be nuts to be an artist. I was listening to Gary Hodges' live stream today, and it unfortunately was happening. Like I was gonna join, but it just was happening like way too close to the time that I head over to my friend Josh's to record music. But I did catch like the early part of it a lot, and then I caught the last half later on. And they had a really funny conversation about which one of the art casters somebody would meet and think is like a normal person. And like of everybody, even in the people in the even the people in the orbit of the art casters, and they decided that Scott was most likely the most kind of down to earth, like normal seeming person. But it was a really good conversation. It was funny. Because I think we're all just a little nuts. We're all just a little strange. So then they're going to be saying, Stolzen's going to be saying, "What the bloody?" Okay. And so I want this to be them again, but now we're doing the opposite shot. So this should be, here is going to be Sophie. Sophie will be here, her kind of rose or whatever. Elizabeth's going to be kind of arm here. again in the foreground, just kind of creating the kind of dynamism here, or trying to. And that maybe here we can have Sophie's hands could be here, maybe like clinging to for life. That's what they were kind of doing. Again, just a thumbnail, you know, but we're just kind of working at what the staging is going to be like here. And then I can have her saying like, "What bloody?" But again, it's just a thumbnail, so we'll add text later. I actually don't mind that for staging. That's okay. That can kind of work. So then we'll have this. We'll kind of put this here. I think I'm going to need less room here. So we'll do this, and we'll have it saying like, "What bloody" here. And then here can be the door that just got opened, right? And this will be the doorway, just showing the extreme angle here, and maybe some of the stuff in the place. Cool. Chris K said, "Art, this is Mass." 100%. How you doing, Chris? What you working on, buddy? Hope all is going well. All right, so now we're gonna do our next stage here. So that's number 2 on the list. And I made the mistake that I always make. I always try to do these on separate panels. And what do you know? I didn't. But I'll do edit, paste in place. And then I'll move this down to be on the right layer. Chris Caligula is one of the best artists I know. Good friend from art school. Good person. Has been a guest art characters. If you guys aren't checking out his stuff, you should. Okay, now we're gonna do our next thumbnail, and I might move my like reference stack here. I have a little stack of references. That's the official word for references. It's a reference stack. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so now I want to get through all these thumbnails, because like once I'm done with thumbnails, then I can share music with you guys, because it's kind of plug and play at that point. But right now it's like I have the brain engaged in the staging, whereas the other stuff is a little more burst. Is that weird? I don't know. I'm curious what you guys feel when you're doing roughs. I feel like when I'm doing roughs, I need to talk it out and think it out as I'm doing it. And if I don't, then I don't know. It's like less chill than just kind of drawing a rough once you have your thumbnails. Because I feel like once I have my thumbnails, then I kind of almost like the best way I can explain it, that I think maybe the difference is like the brain part that's engaged when I'm doing a thumbnail is kind of like the part of my brain that when I'm looking at directions in a place that I haven't driven before. And so it's like I can talk while I'm driving. I can talk while I'm driving and navigating somewhere where I know where I'm going. But if I'm in a city I've never been in and there's directions, I need to like not talk and focus on like the map, because I have no idea where I am, right? I feel like that's thumbnails are like that point where your GPS is navigating around and you have to really pay attention, because you know it's new waters, whereas like roughs are kind of like, okay, now I know the destination, so I can kind of cruise around here. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys have the same thing. Okay, side shot showing all 3. So this one's going to be a side shot, and I wanted this is going to be 3 of the same type of shot. So maybe we do like a 3 back. Okay. So I want to have Wilson here. Okay. So I'm going to have Wilson here. She's going to be she's going to have her arms crossed, like almost like disapprovingly. Like she's leaning back, kind of leaning one side. So this is going to be Wilson kind of looking down disapprovingly at them. And this is going to be, the initial is going to be Wilson O. Wilson. So we're going to have, now Sophie is going to be in the foreground here, looking kind of relieved. And maybe, and now we're going to have, I'm going to have like Elizabeth kind of leaning forward a little more. So Elizabeth's going to be like, kind of like, Wilson. She's like relieved a little bit. Stick figure business. And then she's still going to have like an arm here, but this hand will be out, kind of an explanation like Wilson. Oh, thank goodness. So this is going to be her saying like, Wilson, oh, Wilson. And then we'll have like some of the background elements, like the shelf stuff that are in there, some of the stuff that's on the shelves, whatever they are. Da, 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 da. And then the doorway. Now Wilson will be a little bit more in the doorway. And the door's open, so yeah, I kind of dig that. This one, I'm not going to have Wilson change at all, but it's going to be the same shot. And again, I did this on the list layer, which is insanity. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing. Okay. Over and over again. Okay. Merge down. Just getting this on the proper layer. So the next is going to be exactly the same, except that they're going to be laughing. Oh. Why is this? Yeah, why did anybody use the single row selection? Why does that even exist? Have you ever used the single row selection in Photoshop? Just seems like a dumb thing. Okay, that's 3. So now we're going to do 4, which is Elizabeth and Wilson are on the floor, and it's going to be them laughing. So this is going to be them just rolling around laughing, which will be fun to draw. So this will be like the hand over the thing. Maybe the feet kicking out a little bit. And then this will be maybe her foot kicking out a little bit as well. And then we're going to have the type, which will be, this will be like an ah ha 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 ha, or whatever. And that'll be here. This needs to be actually more space. So we'll have like kind of that. Ha 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 ha, whatever. And then that'll be coming from here. And we'll have our kind of, again, like our stuff. I think there was going to be like a barrel thing here too, I think, from the last one. So we'll add that. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got them laughing. So that'll be list. That's number 4. 3 more to go. 3 more to go. And then I will play you guys some tracks. So the next one is going to be like a continued scene from this same thing. Let's see. And this will be the same scene, but it'll be Elizabeth Downing. Sophie's going to be almost like sitting on her side, like laughing. And she's going to have her legs up, kind of, or out. This is going to be Elizabeth kind of righting herself, with her arms behind her, saying, "You gave us such a fright." And that will need a word balloon over here, because this is going to be the her saying, "You gave us such a fright," will be up here. And then that leaves room for Wilson to be basically saying, "What are you doing in here?" Okay. That works. That works for me. So now I'm gonna basically shrink that down a little bit. And now we have 2 left to go. So this is going to be Wilson looking down on them disapprovingly. So this next one is a close-up of Wilson just disgusted. These childish adults. And Wilson's going to have her kind of maid thing going on. Just got Wilson here. But disapproving Wilson. So her head is held high in disgust. And there's her kind of cool hat. And then we'll have the next one be them laughing again, which will be something like this again. So maybe this will be like even. So she's going to have her arms kind of crossed, like, I can't take it. And then have Sophie in another more kind of goofy, like she's starting to get up. Like maybe she'll be on her. Like she's finally kind of starting to get up, but now she's chuckling. It's like, okay, enough for the thumbnail. So we got this thumbnailed out, and I actually think it's kind of working for comedic timing. The one thing I like on comedic parts books is having like repetition. So you'll notice that I do this in 2 stories as well as Jacob's Apartment. If there's a joke, I'll kind of try to do like a panned repetition, because I think the repeat makes it funnier. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, now that we've got our thumbnail done, I'm going to go ahead and close out the list. I'm going to lock the thumbnail. We're going to make the thumbnail into a blue line. I thought we were going to make the thumbnail into a blue line. Okay, there we go. Now we have the thumbnail as a blue line. Now what I'm going to do is go to View Extras. I'm going to go ahead and close out the references because I don't think we need them. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this to scale with the page that we'll be doing. And once we do that, we're pretty much in shape to start our actual art. So first thing I do, though, I'm going to make a copy of the thumbnail just in case I mess up. And then from there, I'm going to delete the old stuff that we don't need from previous layers. And then we're going to do our borders. So I'm going to go ahead and save. That's got our thumbnail going. And then what I'm going to do is play a trailer. And then when I come back, we will start working on the borders, and I'll play you guys a little sneak peek at some songs that have not released yet. If you're curious to hear mastered, finished songs, check out They Don't Care About the Born, which is the 10-song album I released about 2 days ago by Joshua Kemble on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, all that fun stuff. So check out They Don't Care About the Born. But I'm going to play you guys some unmastered tracks that are yet to be released, because I have about 4 of them, 2 of which I've never played on a stream before. So we'll do that when I come back. But for now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and play another trailer. And this one, we're going to play Frank Salazar Adventures at the Library. I'll be right back, and we'll come back and finish the roughs.
Our heroic adventurers fought orcs, monsters, sorcerers, necromancers. Now they find themselves in front of a mystical library. What shall they find? It's all in the roll of the dice. We've come this far. There's great power behind this door. I can feel it. We just have to get past it. This door is no match for my axe. I shall chop it down. You always want to use brute strength. Why don't you try knocking? We'll try it your way. You may enter. The library is open to all those who seek knowledge. Feel free to look through our tomes. Maybe you'll find the answers you seek. I sense great power here, and it's behind those shelves. Indeed, there are powerful items hidden behind these shelves, but you can only get there through the enchanted words. Do you have those words? I believe I do.
Tremble before the Cremble.
There is great power. Look at that glove. Must be so powerful. That is not where I sense this power. I must get closer. I found them. I found the sacred manuscripts written by Joshua Kemble. Behold, I now possess 2 stories and Jacob's Apartment. Please tell us more about 2 stories. and Jacob's Apartment. And who is Joshua Kemble? Xeric Award-winning cartoonist Joshua Kemble is a freelance artist, graphic designer, and author. Two Stories is a confessional graphic memoir that grapples with questions of faith, mental illness, depravity, and ultimately redemption in a fallen world. Jacob's Apartment is a coming-of-age graphic novel in the vein of Ghost Road and Fun Home. It weaves together the threads of spiritual faith, identity, purpose, love, and loss to create an engrossing world in which waking and sleeping dreams collide. You have made your choice. The passage is now closed. Wait, can I get that glove? No. Oh. All right, let's go.
Welcome back. It is midnight. It's after midnight. Something monkey, something bumpadome. I don't know the lyrics. I don't remember the lyrics to that. Three. Okay. All right. So that was my little welcome to midnight song for you guys. It's an original too. It's not going to get a copyright strike at all. Okay. So we're gonna do. Luckily, I think I got that. I did that so badly that I'm guessing that a copyright strike won't happen because, yeah, I mean, that was pretty bad. But anyhow, so we're gonna do our roughs right now, because somebody's got to be doing roughs. My dogs are sleeping, so I'm here all night, guys. I'm here all night. I don't know if you guys knew this, but it was either be an artist or be a stand-up comic, and I didn't do well at either. That's a joke. The meeting a stand-up comic would be a joke. That's not going to happen. Nor would I ever want to do that. I admire the hell out of it, though. All right, so here we go. Dylan said dad joke. That's right. That's a dad joke. That was a well-cooked dad joke. All right, so now what I'm going to do is basically do this square. We're going to do it once. Once. I did a square once. Once. Only once. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to repeat the square. And once I have these down, we can play some music. Some never before heard music. Never heard by mortal men. Yeah. Or women. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and make this copy here. Haha. And then we're going to kind of reduce it, make it work. This is like roughs, but again, like the beauty of doing this in the rough stage is when it comes to the final, you can make it all polished, pretty, and give that impression where people are like, how did you do this? This is how it's done. Art is a big, long process of a bunch of mistakes and roughs. And it's kind of like architects don't just build a building. That would be really creepy if somebody just built a building with like no plan. And if they did, it would look kind of weird. Like it might work. It might work to make a building with blueprints. It could work in theory, but your chances of making some pretty disastrous mistakes are so much higher. And it's kind of the same with art, where it's like, I think if you want intentional art, it's going to require a lot of stages of iteration, from like roughs to thumbnails to roughs to complete. Maybe a couple versions of the final. Okay. So now we're going to do this panel here. This panel here. And this panel is going to be going here. Something like that. And we have this nice little blue line already worked out, which is great. I didn't even think to do this till I was like way further into this book. So initially I was like redrawing everything for like from the thumbnail to the rough, even though it's just a rough and the rough doesn't need to be perfect. It's like I was having like extra stages of drawing that weren't really necessary. And so, but now that I'm 110 pages in, I have a pretty streamlined little system for how to get this done. Okay, I'm going to move these roughs just a little bit. So I want to have this a little more central. I'm going to have this one be just a tiny bit more to the right or to the left. And then these pretty good, but I want to center them a little more. So we're going to go. I'm making sound effects. I don't know. I don't do that in life, I don't think. I don't know. I'd have to ask my wife if I make sound effects. She would probably say I do. That's what I'm guessing. But I might make some sound effects every once in a while. All right. Here we go. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to save. And now I'm going to play you guys some music while I basically solidify these drawings a little bit more, add some shading, and that way we'll have like a passable rough for the client. So here is a song that I did play yesterday, but is unreleased, and so it's unmastered. So keep in mind, all the levels on it aren't perfect. It's kind of the first raw cut, so nothing's been balanced out yet. It's like the first kind of rough mix. So here's track 1 of what will probably be another solo album in a little bit.
Devil.
right, so that was song one. So again, it'll be for like a solo album I haven't released yet. If you want to hear a solo album that I did release, you should check out They Don't Care About the Born, which is on music streaming platforms everywhere. That is completely mastered. All song very proud of. This new one, though, this one that I've been tracking, I think the theme is toxic workplaces. So I just thought that would be a fun theme for an album. So that's what I've been writing it about. And so just different elements of workplaces that are kind of inhumane. And not talking about like, well, I don't know exactly what all it's going to talk about. Because again, it's sort of in progress. So made, I think, 4 songs for this so far. And I tend to like to give people about 10 songs. I don't know why that is. I just feel like it's not quite an album unless it has like 10 songs. So I want to give you a minimum of 10 songs. That would be the ideal album length in my head. Okay, so, or more, but definitely not less. I don't feel like I want to like 2 songs or something, unless I was doing like an EP. Now I'm rambling, which is what I do. So, but we're going to play the second song, which I did play yesterday. Again, these are unmastered. I went through and kind of commented on all of the songs that have been released on They Don't Care About the Born as well, like yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know. Dylan would know. Might not have been yesterday. It might have been the day before, but I think it was yesterday. Yesterday morning is what I think it was. Anyhow, point being, I did a running commentary where I kind of explained my thinking in each song and what the themes were and stuff like that. This is not those final songs. This is like songs that are still being baked. Like they're kind of they've gotten out of the oven, but they haven't cooled off yet, right? Because basically mastering is where like my friend Robbie takes my songs and somehow makes them sound better by leveling everything out. And that's the main difference. Is like on a master, you'll notice that like the drums are nice and loud, but like you're going to hear different parts a little more balanced out. And also there's going to be just a little bit of effects like and reverb and stuff added to things that I think make it improved. So, but these are raw tracks, and no excuses, not saying they're bad. Here is the second track, and we're going to go ahead and just continue working on this rough.
solution for the mind to correct my thinking about the daily grind. Had to sign some papers, sign away my rights. And then the place that drove me deep into this day felt the weight of balancing my whole world. Lost my grip as reality unfurled. A total breakdown. Don't trust anything they say. They're recording your every move to you someday. Don't trust anything they do. Anything that you say could be used against you. They're watching you. Collapse of my rational faculties. Nervous breakdown from overthinking things. Who do you trust if you can't trust your mind? Stepping ahead just to fall back behind. Push you to the brink, keeping you on the grind. So you have a total breakdown.
All right, so that was the second unmastered song. Again, like this kind of in the works album that I think is going to be potentially about bad workplaces. That's kind of my guess on the theme. Who knows? Because again, like these are just songs that for some reason I've been like super inspired lately, and so I've been tracking and recording a lot of music, and I don't know why I've just been driven to it. So. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, Dylan said that was good. Thanks. This next one's weird. So I'm going to share one of the newer ones, and this is probably the weirdest song I've recorded. It was kind of influenced a little bit by the Rentals. Like I really love the Rentals. It's one of my favorite bands. I like Matt Sharp a lot. I like the members of That Dog, like the Hayden sisters. There's something really cool about kind of the Moog sound, and just like the really bad organ kind of thing that I absolutely love. And so this doesn't sound anything like the Rentals, but it's got influence from that because I was like, I wanted to do a song where there's like a cheesy synthesizer kind of carrying a melody that then the vocals kind of follow. And so in that way, it's influenced by the Rentals because the Rentals do that all the time on like almost all their vocals, as did Weezer on a few songs before Weezer sucked, which is pretty much every album after Pinkerton. Sorry, Weezer. Okay, so anyhow, with that being said, man, here I'm putting out my stuff, so maybe I judge so quickly because my stuff probably is not as good as like the Green album or like another Weezer album, but whatever. Let's go. Let's play track number 3 of the new album that I'm working on. If you want to hear an album I released 2 days ago, make sure you check out They Don't Care About the Born by Joshua Kemble. That is a full 10-song album. And right now I'm just kind of sharing songs that I have not yet released. This is probably the weirdest one. So I'll be really curious to hear what you guys think. This one sometimes tracks songs where I don't even know what to think about them. And this is one of them. Oops. That one I feel pretty confident about. So let's play this one.
I
This is a weird one. All right, so that was a weird one. I noticed there's a little bit of a lag with the stream too, so sometimes it would like speed up and slow down. So unfortunately, that's just kind of gonna happen. I don't know if you guys are hearing that on your end, but I definitely there was a couple times where that live stream connection was like lagging a little bit, and it was causing the music to kind of speed and slow, and that's okay. But just in case you guys were hearing that. That is just kind of part of live streaming sometimes. So, okay. Now I'm going to do just kind of continue with this vibe. Hopefully you guys are kind of enjoying the sampling of the music. Here, I want to check out. Okay, that hat is flat brimmed. Okay. Kind of remembering the hat. So I'm going to probably play the last song, which I actually feel a little more confident about. Like that one, I don't know quite what I think about it yet. And it'll be interesting to see if it makes the cut if I do release another album or whatever. If for some reason I keep being inspired, that might make the cut, but it might not. I'm not quite sure if I like it or not. I think I like it, but it's odd. So, oh, nice. Dylan said, yeah, it's neat to hear demos. Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So then here's track C, as I have it called now. I haven't quite titled it yet. So play that. Or sorry, this will be track D. This will be the fourth track. So this one I feel better about. I feel more confident about. So let's hear it. So yeah, so that's the last one. I like that one a lot. This is Frank. Frank has joined us, Mr. Salazar himself. How's it going, Frank? How you doing, man? I hope all is well. It's been a long time since we've chatted, my dude. I played your Adventures in the Library video. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, indeedly. All right, and then this is going to be Elizabeth being shocked. So I might play a couple more songs or whatever, but that was a preview of the 4 that I recorded so far. So of those 4, I'd love to hear your opinions of which one you liked the best. For me, I actually feel the most confident about the 4th track, but again, that's my opinion. And one of the interesting things with art and other things like that is that sometimes, people have different opinions. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. All right. So we're just kind of finishing up these roughs. And then from there, we will basically be done with this stream, which is kind of exciting. Although I will probably be working on another set of roughs. Possibly tonight, depending on how much gusto I have. I know that my wife is staying up late too, working on a kid's book, and so we'll see. But I will say, every once in a while when you're freelancing, there are late nights. It's kind of unavoidable. I will also say late nights are a lot harder at this age than they used to be. Like when I was younger, late nights were like super cool and fun, and that's what felt most inspired. I still have that kind of in my soul. Like I still have a late night artist in my soul, but it's harder to sustain at the age that I'm at because I'm old. I'm old and have creaking bones. I guess I'm not that old, but still. Um, but it is interesting how, you know, once I have no need of a schedule, like once I'm kind of in freelance mode, I do kind of default to later and later work hours, because I think that's when I'm most creative. And then also there's something about this time of night, or time of morning, I should say, where everything's quiet and nothing open, and there's something like calm about this time of day. The other thing is, in the area we live in, man, it gets hot like during the summers. I don't know about you, Frank, because I know also you're in Texas, and I know you guys get high heat as well, but it gets like boiling hot around this time. And so there's something also nice about working at night because it finally kind of cools off a little bit. And so I think that also kind of helps. And we have AC and stuff, but it's like we're not wealthy people, so we're not like blasting AC all day, you know, like some rich kid. I'm talking to you. Anyhow, I have no idea who would be blasting their AC all day or could afford that. Most people kind of regulate their AC if they have it, if they're fortunate enough to have it. You know. All right, so we've got. Dylan said it got hot here in Arizona. Well, dude, Arizona, it's like, whew. Arizona, like I'm complaining about hot. Arizona reaches different levels of heat that I am very sympathetic to, because I feel like in the valley where I'm at, like it gets hot, but it doesn't quite. It gets close, but it is no Arizona hot. Like it gets close, but it's never quite there, like Arizona heat levels. Where like my rear view mirror, my rear view mirror has yet to melt off of my windshield like it did for Scott. Like my friend Scott, who lives in Arizona, his rear view mirror just fell off one day. It just fell off because the sun had melted it off. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So we got Sophie here. She's being bathed in the light of the doorway. We have Elizabeth, who's feeling slight relief because she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's not a monster. It's not an apparition." Because you keep in mind they were just trying to talk to the dead in the pantry, and so and then we have Wilson, who my perspective here is way off, so I will be correcting that. But the gist is it's going to be like an upward shot. Right now, she looks like she's about a million heads tall. But I will correct that a little bit as it gets to the final. This is where we're going to kind of have the reveal of who it is. She was kind of walking out of a dark area, so it was hard for them to see. And then we're going to have this kind of worked out. I want to have the room clearly is in darkness. And then I see your darkness. Have you guys ever heard that song? The Your Darkness song? It's a really good song. Blanking out on the musician who did it. I know that Johnny Cash covered it, but the original is amazing. And then the same musician did like a hip version because I guess he got big because of that song. And the hip version is awful. But the original is really incredible. All right. Here we go. We've got 2 down. 2 down. 2 down. That's right. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then we're going to take another quick break. I will play the trailer for stuff. Late Night Freelancers sounds like a band, said Frank. That's true. That would be a great band name. That's our band, Frank. After New Direction broke up, we had to come up with another band name, and that's it. Late Night Freelancers. Speaking of Late Night Freelancers, you guys, I appreciate you guys in the Night Gang. As usual, it's always fun to have the Night Gang show up in full force. And we are going to watch Home Shopping Crumble, and I will be back.
Well, thank you, Colleen. I hope your daughter Kelly does well at North Carolina State this year. Well, we got another caller on the line. Elizabeth from Phoenix, Arizona. Elizabeth, what can we do for you? Are you ready to do some shopping, girl?
Oh, yes, Terry. I am ready to do some shopping today. I'm interested in that 2-book set you have. 2 Stories and Jacob's Apartment.
Oh, well, that's a great choice.
In fact, I bought these books before. I gave a set to my grandson, Hunter. These books are amazing.
Well, they sure are, and if you buy both of them, you really get the whole feel of the whole Joshua Kemble universe. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, Terry. These books are remarkable because, for one, you can take them anywhere. You could put them in your car, and you can go to the park or the river. We've gone to the river. My husband Taylor and I, we just love it. And I murdered my husband at the river. Yeah, I did. But these still are amazing books.
I absolutely love that cartoon by Jim Lujan. He did that. If you guys are listening and you would like to make an advertisement for one of my books that I could play when I take mild breaks to get water on stream, feel free. As long and try to keep it under a minute, unless you're Frank. Frank has moderator privileges, and so he is allowed to do extra long commercials. But in general, try to make it under a minute or a minute and a half, and mention Jacob's Apartment or 2 Stories, as well as your work and your own stuff where people can find you. And that'd be cool. And while you're at it, subscribe to Frank. You've got Alice Art Nation, you've got Tarako Creative Cast, and now I am sleepy, and so I'm starting. I'm blanking out. Frank, roll for Tarako. That's it. Roll for Tarako. I can't believe I almost forgot Roll for Tarako, where Frank does cool RPG related material, which is really cool. All right, let's do this. So now it's going to be her saying Wilson. Exclamation point. Oh, Wilson. And then that's going to be in a text bubble here. Again, I'm not super concerned about like being precious with the balloons or anything like that. And here is Gary Wilson just kind of looking like, what the heck is wrong with you two? Why are you guys chilling in the pantry like children? This is what's going on in her head. She's like, why would you be hanging out in the pantry like children with a candle? What is going on? What is going on? And they are giggling like children because they feel like children. They're having fun. They're doing seances in the dark, in secret. Little does Elizabeth know at this point, but it may be more nefarious than it seems, because Sophie has secretly met with Home, who is a spiritualist, and basically said she's going to try to screw up Elizabeth's marriage. That's basically what is actually happening with Sophie. But Elizabeth, unaware of this, that she has a friend in Sophie, and is kind of having a jolly old time. Meanwhile, Sophie is plotting and scheming. All right. So we have now Sophie's here. The thing that's complicated about Sophie in this story, though, is I think she truly likes Elizabeth. Like, she might be a little like psychotically obsessed with Elizabeth, but I think that she sincerely like wants Elizabeth, like, for her own kind of thing. So I think that's what's going on here. And we're going to do this, get our arms kind of worked out. And Sophie's going to have her feet here. And then we're going to have Elizabeth here. And Elizabeth is saying, like, oh, Willis. And kind of working through it. So Elizabeth's going to have one arm kind of back here. One arm out. And she's kind of crouching down. And here Wilson's going to have the doorway open. Oh, that's a bit it's kind of the fun of a rough, right? As I can figure out, okay, that creates like a tangent. So here's the doorway and the open door. And then here is the frame, the exterior frame. And then that's all going to go back here. Ooh. And this is going to have all the kind of baked goods or whatever is being stored in this area. A lot of jars, I'm imagining. This might be like potatoes or something in a sack. And then there's going to be like a bin kind of thing here. Okay, cool. So that's where we're going to leave that for now. It gets us a little bit closer. Oh, I almost forgot. We also are going to need to establish that candle again. So we have that blank candle and candles here. So, okay. So now we can do our shading and kind of work further on here. So we have Wilson. It's a clearer light. Who is not happy with these two heads. And they are feeling silly and goofy and giggly. It's basically where we're at. And then we have Sophie here. Shadow behind. All this stuff in shadow. And this is all going to go darker as it gets further back. The great thing is I can probably copy this section and use it for the other panels, but we're gonna see how we do. So now we have 3 done, and we're gonna basically continue and make more roughs. And you know what we'll do? We're just gonna play one of those songs again. So I'll play again like the 4 songs that I haven't yet released. If you want to hear 10 songs that are fully mastered and done, make sure you check out They Don't Care About the Born by Joshua Kemble. I just released it on all music streaming platforms, so you can check it out on Spotify, you can purchase it on iTunes, you can stream it on Apple Music, you can stream it on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can buy it on Amazon. But and that's under Joshua Kemble. There's a link down there too that'll take you to it. But these are songs that are unreleased tracks and unmastered, and I'm gonna play them one more time. I'll play all 4, and I'd be curious to hear your guys' opinions on them. So here's track 1 again of the new songs. Oh, hold on. So yeah, so that was a track that I haven't released yet that I recorded a couple days ago, and I've been kind of digging this theme for music where I'm trying to write I think a song, like a couple songs, maybe an album's worth of songs that talk about just horrible workplaces. I think that'll be a fun topic for some songs. So anyhow, so that was track 1. And what we're working on right now is just roughs for page 110 of Not Death But Love, the Strange Supernatural Story, Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And I think I might actually keep this up too. So, and right now I'm just drawing them kind of laughing. So, and let's do like a ha, 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 ha. And then we'll play another, I might even have it go off of there. Do. And the nice thing is, I might just possibly copy the previous, because like Wilson's not going to change in these at all, just for the rough. So we'll see if that works. But right now, let's play track 2 as well. And again, this is just songs that I've recorded the last few days. I haven't mastered or released these yet, so these are yet to be mastered, kind of demo tracks.
Called to tell you of a time where I lost all care. Started hearing voices that weren't even there. Started seeing cameras monitoring me. Thought I was on some reality TV. Felt the weight of balancing my whole world. Lost my grip as reality unfurled. A total breakdown. Don't trust anything they say. They're recording your every move to you someday. Don't trust anything they do. Anything that you say could be used against you. They're watching you. Collapse of my rational faculties. Nervous breakdown from overthinking things. Who do you trust if you can't trust your mind? Stepping ahead just to fall back behind. Push you to the brink, keeping you on the grind. So you have a total breakdown. Put me in an institution for the mind to correct my thinking about the daily grind. Had to sign some papers, sign away my rights. And then the place that drove me deep into this state. Felt the weight of balancing my whole world. Lost my grip as reality unfurled. A total breakdown. Don't trust anything they say. They're recording your every move to you someday. Don't trust anything they do. Anything that you say could be used against you. They're watching watching you. Collapse of my rational faculties. Nervous breakdown from overthinking things. Who do you trust if you can't trust your mind? Stepping ahead just to fall back behind. Push you to the brink, keeping you on the grind. So you have a total breakdown.
So there you go. There's a second track that's a demo that I haven't quite mastered or released yet. And if you want to hear like finished, mastered, awesome songs, definitely check out my album, They Don't Care About the Born. And if you want to see finished comics, check out Jacob's Apartment and Two Stories, which are my two graphic novels that are currently out. And right now we're doing roughs for page 110 of Not Death But Love, the strange supernatural story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, which is a graphic novel that I'm working on for Turner Publishing. And we're at the 2-hour mark. And so, as usual, once we hit the 2-hour mark, we go ahead and play a trailer. So I'm going to play another trailer. This one will be another Jim Lujan. We'll do the Kids Say Kemble trailer. And I'll be right back. And then we will hopefully continue with these roughs till we're done with this page. So again, these roughs that we then show the client, in this case, Turner Publishing, and the author, Lavender Vroman, and then they'll take a look at if there's anything to change or anything that needs different staging. Then that's kind of brought up then. And then once we get the roughs approved, then we go on to finals, which are much more refined and kind of good. But the nice thing about roughs is it gives you like a map to kind of work from. Okay, so here is Kids Say Kemble by Jim Lujan, and I will be right back.
We know that Georgia kids say the craziest thing.
So, little Susie, do you have any brothers or sisters? I understand you're in 3rd grade. How do you like that? Do you like your teacher? You like to do a lot of fun things at school? You got any hobbies, Susie? Any things you like to do when you're not in school? I hear you like to read.
Well, right now I'm reading Two Stories, written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. It grapples with faith and mental illness. It's ultimately a story about redemption. It's a savage piece of writing. Also, I just finished up Jacob's Apartment, another one by Kemble. Jacob's Apartment weaves together elements of spiritualism and relationship dynamics, as well as atheism, and all the while it deals with abandonment and loyalty. It's a fierce, fierce read.
Do you like ponies?
All right, I think Dylan took off. He said he had to get some sleep. So have a good night, Dylan. If you watch this after the fact, appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up here and hanging out. Hopefully you guys are getting some work done. I wonder what everybody's working on. There's a few people watching that are part of the night gang, and I'm kind of curious. I'm always curious to hear what you guys are up to. So right now we're going to do the next scene. So this is like they've laughed, and then it's going, gave us such a fright. Elizabeth is saying that. You gave us such a fright. And then she's going to be saying, what are you doing in here? And see, like one of the nice things about a rough is I'm already seeing like this text placement a little bit too close to Elizabeth's head. So I'm going to move it just a little bit up. And that'll give a little more space for the text balloon when we get to finals. So now I can just kind of rough it in. This is going to help me when I get to final text. I'm always kind of curious what everybody's up to, though. I always like the fact that I can stream at like 1 a.m. and people up kind of hanging out, probably being creative, probably working on stuff, you know? Chris said, I had to leave for a bit. Kiddo wouldn't sleep. Is this the same comic, new panel borders? Yeah, so this is not Death But Love, the strange supernatural story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. What are you working on, Chris? Are you working on freelance? I have some freelance that I have to work. I've been like back to the freelance lifestyle for the summer. So that's going to be fun. It's actually pretty exciting. It's just a lot of work, but it'll be fun. Excited about particularly like a robot illustration that I have to do some roughs for. I have 2. Well, this will be one of 2 roughs that I need to get done to stay on target for the deadline of this book, and then from there, I want her to look more cross, not like smiling. There we go. So I have 2 of these that I have to get done. Preferably like tonight would be good. We'll see where I'm at. It's always fun to like see how far you can push, but ideally I'd get both of these done tonight so that I could do my robot illustration for a client. It's a really fun client, but I have to do like probably like 3 variations of a book cover concept and then kind of get approval and all that fun stuff for that. But what I want to do is get these done so that I'm in shape to start doing final pages tomorrow. Nice. Chris said, just finished a Pago commercial, gearing up for something this week. Glad things are picking back up, but I need to make more comics. Yes, you do. You have a fan, my dude. I will say the music, the comics that I've been doing lately, I don't know what's been going on, but I am in a really inspired zone. The only problem is, the paid work takes priority. So I gotta definitely start prioritizing the paid work too. But I will say, it's been like I said, it's been weird. It's been weird to be so like inspired lately. I don't know why. Again, I'm a subscriber to the idea of inspiration comes when you work, and that's generally true. But there are these weird times where you're just compelled to make art, and it's like almost like uncontrollable drive, and that's been on like overload lately, and that's been really cool. It's like one of those things you taste every once in a while. It doesn't come it doesn't come a lot, like that kind of thing. It doesn't come to us all the time. So when it does, it's like pretty neat, like to feel that fuel and inspiration. I know, Chris, we were talking about that happening with like a script recently, and so I know you know what I'm talking about. But it's like when those times come, I just feel like I have to honor them a little bit, because good things have happened in life for me when those times have hit. And so I want to make sure I'm kind of enjoying those moments, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. So now I'm going to do this, and then I think I'll play the third track, which is my weird track. I already played this on the stream before, but I'm playing unreleased songs that I've just done. If you want to hear the released ones, again, check out my album. But this one's really strange. I'm still not sure what I think about it. Like, I like it, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna play this one. You guys can tell me if it's any good. Chris was saying, write it like a surfer. Yeah, that's what I kind of feel like I have to do. It's like I cut a wave and I need to just keep going. Yeah. All right. Here's the weird song. All right, so that's the weird song. I'm not sure what I think about it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. It's kind of a weird one. I think I dig it. It might be deeper. It's just like a weird. It's just a weird song. I think it was mainly just the. I don't know. I like cheesy synth. I was like, did I overdo it? And then like I don't know, the chorus and the verse blend in a weird way, but I think I like it. I need to think on that one for a little bit. But anyhow, you guys are getting sneak peeks of demos that I have not released. And then if you want the real stuff, again, check out They Don't Care About the Born, which was just released on streaming platforms everywhere. And you can hear like final mastered tracks, which this might be joining the club of in a little bit. Like, you know, because I have 4 songs tracked already for another. So if I can get to 10, maybe these will be other released album song things. Song albums, you know. So it's 1 a.m. We've finished the rough for this, so that'll get us a little bit further. And now we just need to rough 2 more panels, and then we'll probably call it at least this stream. Now I might be streaming later, we'll see, or earlier, I should say. Chris said, kind of liked it. Yeah, it's a weird. I'm still chewing on that one. I don't feel as confident about that one as I do about this last one, which I will play for you guys. And I feel personally like this one's a banger, but we'll see. We'll see what you guys think. So this is the 4th of the 4 tracks that I have sitting that I've recorded in the last 2 days. And then we'll see if they see release or not. So that one I feel better about. I don't know, but it's fun. Like again, like it's always interesting to hear other people's opinions of stuff because, like, kind of like art. You'll see this with art all the time, where there's something you'll really like, and you'll be like, "Man, this is like the best thing I've made." And don't get me wrong, this is probably not the best song I've made, but 4, that's the one I feel best about. And what's funny is every once in a while, you know, you'll have like moments like that where you draw something or you make something like a song you really like. And ironically, like a lot of people will be drawn to like everything but the thing you really liked. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It's like the lesson you learn real early as a graphic designer or illustrator to never like, you know, newbie illustrators tend to have this like thing where they're saying, hey, if you're working with a client, what you can do to kind of guide their decision to the choice you want when you have like roughs is like you make like a really good rough, and then the rest of them you just make like really crappy roughs, and then like you guide them to the one you wanted to draw in the first place, because the rest of them are like awful. The problem is, you learn this pretty early on in illustration and graphic design. Half the time they're going to pick ones you don't like. And they're going to pick like the worst one you present. And so, what I think, is better to do in those scenarios is just present a bunch of really good roughs that you feel good about every direction. Like, and I feel like that's really bad advice to give a young artist, to say like, put your soul into like one rough, and then, and then like make the other ones not so good, so it guides the client. No. Put your soul into all of the roughs, try a bunch of different angles that, are trying different approaches. And then, if they pick whichever one, you're going to feel good about it. Right. Whereas like 9 times out of 10, you do the other one, you're going to end up doing one of those horrible roughs as the final. And then you're going to feel bad about the final piece. Right. I will say, Chris was saying it's like a Jedi mind trick to make the client pick the best idea. So to me, I think you just have all solid ideas. Obviously, you're going to have one that you're more sold on and you think will work better. But again, I think having all solid ideas is going to be like a million times better for your soul, because then you end up making a piece you're really happy with. Speaking of, we're going to do our last panel here, but I'm glad to like kind of share some music with you guys. I feel like maybe I should share a sample from the existing album. Let me see if I can find like the one I feel best about. Because I like this album. I'm very proud of this album. I think it's pretty good, solid album. But I want to pick a real banger from it. So I think what we'll do is we'll put on Love Among the Ruins. I'm going to pick that one. So that'll be the 7th. So I need to figure that out, because I don't have my MP3s titled what they're titled on the albums. So that would be 7. There we go. Okay. So I think this is the one from the existing album that I just released called They Don't Care About the Born. This is called Love Among the Ruins, and I'm really proud of this song. I think this might be one of the best I've written. And this is mastered.
Crashes to the shore, the sky burning more, spreading billows of clouds of smoke. Heroes everything in its way. Sand solidified and it liquefies. The trees are rooted out and petrified. You and I don't live long for this world. Will you still be my girl? With the buildings collapsing, turning into sand, burning structure fire. Hold on to my hand. Earthquakes split the ground, rupturing the beams that hold everything. Just hold
Okay, so that was a little sneak peek at the song that I like a lot from the album that I released called "They Don't Care About the Born," called "Love Among the Ruins." I think that's the best song on there, in my opinion. But then again, it's always hard to tell because again, like what I like and what people like is going to be like two different things. Like what's funny and interesting about art is like finding the thing that connects with people. Um, because like again, like a lot of the time, like your favorite page of a comic may be like the one everybody passes by, and then they're like, man, like let's say you're obsessed with like page 62. You're like, man, I really like outdid myself on page 62, and then everyone will tell you like, man, page 61 is my favorite page, and you're like, what, really? Like, it's just the nature of art that's interesting. And then every once in a while you'll have a time where it really cross over, where there's something you really like, connect with, that you've made, and it'll actually hit. And those are the gold moments, where something you feel really good about, other people feel really good about. That's kind of that's the good place to be. But anyhow, so I am always curious to hear what you guys think about all of that stuff. Okay, so we are really loosey goosey making this this rough, and figuring out the staging and the lighting, and I think it's been pretty successful. So we'll see how far we can kind of get with this. Elizabeth has this wacky hair. I think I want it to be kind of clear that she's looking over, and then she is going to be kind of doing the like arms kind of crossed thing that one does when they're laughing. She's also wearing her kind of sweater thing. Elizabeth Barrett Browning wore like a ton of sweaters. It's really interesting. Like Victorian clothes. It's interesting because it's like it looks really cozy for winter, but man, it looks like some of the hottest, most uncomfortable clothes if it came to like summertime. I have no idea. And then you see like the summertime fashions they had back then, and they're still like they're brutal. Like it's hard to be in a Victorian summer. Like I can't imagine Arizona in Victorian times. Like can you imagine living in some place like Arizona in the Victorian era? You just, I don't know. There just was no clothes for people in summers. And then the thing is, I think also like they had like really ridiculously stringent kind of guides on like what was appropriate for like women to wear or men to wear. And so even like their bathing suits at the time were just like very covered, which is cool in again winter, right? But like in summer, like it's just kind of brutal. Just I don't know. I feel bad for Victorian people in the summers is all I'm saying. And also you got to think like back in the Victorian days, they didn't have like great heating, So you're like in this, place with like no AC, right? And often just like just sweltering heat. Like I don't know. Just sounds like rough life. I don't want to demystify or make Victorian times seem horrible because we like reading about them, but yeah, Chris was saying also we live, maybe it was just colder then, and he said also we live in SoCal. Yeah, that's true. Not everywhere is this hot. But I just can't imagine how bad that would be. Then again, a lot of these fashions from like England, and like I think they get pretty chilly there. I'm not sure how hot it gets in England but I think Italy, if they're staying in Italy here, like Casa Guidi is in Italy. And so it's like the two kind of main locations in this book, Italy and England, I think do have heat waves, I don't know. Now I want to look up what weather's like in Italy. Because I know in England it's very rainy quite often. And it definitely gets chilly, But I think they have heat waves. Anyhow, I'm just saying the people I feel the worst for in Victorian times is the maids and the servants. Because like I think that even fashions, would allow for some like cooling off during like a hot period, but a lot of these like maids and you know chauffeurs and like just I don't even know if they're called chauffeurs at the time, but you know what I mean, like servants. A lot of these people were like very like stringently having to wear like specific uniforms and stuff. So it's like, yeah, just I don't know. In the heat, it just does not sound fun. That's all. Maybe I'm just thinking about hot weather because I'm currently living in a desert that's having a heat wave. So that might be going on in my subconscious. Subconscious, not conscious. Subconscious is a horrible pronunciation that I'd only make at 1:30 in the morning when working on stuff. All right. So we are done with the rough. Well, we're not quite done, but we're done enough with. So I'm going to start kind of closing out. So if you guys haven't yet, and you want to check out some really cool comics, these are roughs, right? You want to see what fine stuff looks like? Either follow me on here because I'll be working on finished pages as well. So hit subscribe or hit the bell so you get notifications when I'm about to go live. If you like the music, check out my album. There's a link to it in the show notes, but it's called They Don't Care About the Born. You can find it on Spotify and listen to it for free. You can even follow it on Spotify if the music was at all interesting to you. And then if you want to see like finished comics and read my work, check out Jacob's Apartment and Two Stories. They're both two indie comics that I'm very proud of, and they're pretty awesome. And yeah, Chris was saying, dude, I get concerned for you every time I see those weather maps when it's hot out. Luckily, we do have AC now. So, like, for years, my wife and I were running on a swamp cooler. And, man, those were rough times. So we're blessed enough to have AC now. So we're a little bit okay. But we don't run it all the time. Anyhow, we're not talking about AC. We're talking about Jacob's Apartment and Two Stories, two fantastic graphic novels you can pick up on Amazon right now, or at your local bookstore, or go to your local library and request that they carry it. And that is going to do it. So thanks, guys. If you haven't yet, hit like. That helps out the show. And I will see you guys on the next live stream, which might be soon. Who knows? But thanks for hanging out with me while I roughed out this page. And I hope you guys got some creative done. All right. Have a good night or morning. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.